I'm not even going to take us to the library for this one because it's not worth it. Welcome to Magic Arcanum. I'm Ryan Gomez. Behind the scenes is Nicole Burdick, and we're so glad you're here because it's story time. At the end of my video covering what happens in Murders at Karlov Manor, I told you that there might be additional chapters out there waiting to be uncovered by clever detectives in the magic community. And sure enough, on February 14th, the case was cracked, and we got an epilogue to the events of the set's story. It wasn't very long and frankly didn't tell us much, but I did promise to recap any additional developments. So here we are. The story starts with Alquist Proft and his new assistant/bodyguard Atrada meeting with Niv Mizzet, the Guild Pact, at his office on Ravnica. Proft tells the dragon he knows why he was missing during the recent string of murders, and Niv allows the detective to share his theory. Proft says, I know you were working with Kylox before he was killed because I stole something from his lab that points back to you. And Niv says, well, yeah, I work with many people across all of the guilds. That's kind of my prerogative as Guild Pact and Firemind, so what of it? Proft says, okay, fair enough, but I know what the secret project was. You're trying to study the omen paths that have appeared all over Ravnica in the hopes of mastering how they work before anyone can beat you to it. You want to turn our plane into the central hub of the multiverse, and this was more important than investigating the murders caused by Tristani. And Niv says, yep, you figured it all out. I do want to make Ravnica the economic and social center of everything. Now, are you going to help me or not? And Proft says, sure, but we got to figure out my consulting fee first. And that's it. That's what else happens in Murders at Karlov Manor. Niv Mizzet ignored all of the murders so he could study the omen paths in the hopes of unlocking their secrets so he could promote tourism to the plane that now had a string of high-profile unsolved murders. And Alquist Proft is apparently fine with this, so long as he also gets a cut of the action. Tell me this story wasn't written for New Capenna. Go ahead, try to convince me Niv Mizzet isn't acting like a crime lord right now instead of acting like the living Guild Pact. Ravnica is one of, maybe the most popular planes in all of Magic because its world building was the best. It had clearly defined characters with relatable wants and needs. Players could identify with the guilds and pick their favorite based on their own sensibilities and interests. And I feel like Murders threw a lot of that away and left us with a city I barely recognize anymore, which makes me less enthusiastic about future returns here. But what about you? Does knowing now that Niv Mizzet knew about the murders but didn't care because he was more focused on the omen paths change your opinion of him or of the plane? Let me know down in the comments, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what I hope eventually return to being the great stories you'll only find here on Magic Arcanum. We'll see ya!